What's going on, everyone? John from 16 Views. It's not a secret to anyone that 2021 wasn't a great year. It was better than 2020, but it still wasn't the best. I'm really hoping that 2022 is better. For me in particular, I didn't really post as many YouTube videos in 2021 just because by summer and then into fall and winter, we went back in person for school and it just got way more hectic and I didn't really have time. So kind of took the L on YouTube. As for photography, though, I took a ton of bangers. I'm doing a lot of the stuff for my school. I'm doing like client work, and I feel like just as a photographer, I've taken like a big step up. So I thought I would go through and make a video showing my top 15 photos of 2021. I have to be honest, when I originally thought of this idea, I wanted to do a top 10, but I couldn't decide on just 10 pictures because there was a lot of really, really good ones. So this is going to be my top 15 photos. So let's get started. The very, very first one is a picture I took when I was in Florida over Thanksgiving. Just nice, simple sandcastle. And I really like the colors on this and everything. It just looks super cool. And I added the stars at the top. I think that adds quite a bit. And none of these are like ranked. You couldn't get me to rank these 15. They're just all good. So this is in no particular order. Second one. This is a picture I took the first time I was in Florida. In January, my family actually went down because me and my brother were completely online for school. So we went down and rented a house in Destin for a month in January. This photo I actually posted on VSCO, and it was reposted on VSCO, which was kind of cool. So that's like my little kind of exciting getting noticed moment. I originally got the idea for this photo in a TMS Productions video, I think. It just kind of looked cool with the little like sun stars and everything. So yeah. Next picture I took when I was in Iowa visiting family. I just took it off my cousin's like porch. And it was just cool, half-ish moon. And I had to crop this photo a lot, actually. But that's kind of one of the nice things about having a 24 megapixel camera. You actually have some like room to crop. So this was quite a bit cropped in. It's very plain, very minimalistic, but I just think it's cool by how much detail you can see in the moon and everything. So this picture I again took in Florida the first time we went in January. And I didn't get this camera I'm using now, the Sony a6100, until April. So everything before April, I was using my parents' old Nikon from like 2014, I think. So this I was using on a 50mm lens. I just used manual focus, put it at the closest focusing distance, and it was like really, really windy that day. The shutter speed was really high, so I got all the sand particles like perfectly in motion. And I just think it looks really cool because it's like, ooh, all like deserty and everything, but really right behind it is the ocean, but it kind of looks like it was taking on a desert, and like the kind of colors of it. Another picture that I like. Next one is, of course, 4th of July. The country club near my house puts on like a big fireworks show every year. So we drove over and it's always super packed. We drove over and actually had to park at a gas station. What I like about this picture is it kind of shows like more normal life. It's not just straight firework. It's not perfect. It has like a gas station underneath with the cars and like the fluorescent like lights and everything. So I kind of like how that kind of like contrasts in a way. You have the kind of like cool pretty fireworks at top and then just kind of like a not grungy, but just like a gas station underneath and with the colors that are kind of contrast and everything. So I do like that shot. This photo I took when I was in Cleveland. We kind of just did a big biking trip from Cincinnati to Cleveland over a week. And so this was our ending spot. And after we were done biking, we walked around Cleveland. And this one I really, really like. This is also one of my dad's favorite pictures that I've taken. It's just, I don't know, looking like straight up. And it's like, there's nothing like super interesting. It's not, super saturated colors or anything. It's just blue. But it's so symmetrical. It's just one of those like satisfying architectural shots. This is another Florida picture from the first time we went in January. 300mm lens. Sunsets at the beach are probably the best thing ever. If I was just like ranking my favorite things, sunsets at the beach, probably number one. But this is a 300mm lens. I got it as like the sun was like half setting below the horizon, so you kind of have like half a sun. I really like the reflection on the water, you know, kind of the hazy clouds. This is another picture from Cleveland. If you've ever been to Cleveland, you've probably seen there's like a big chandelier that like hangs over this like intersection. And this Playhouse Square is like right next to that chandelier. I got some pictures of the chandelier, but they didn't make it into my top 15. It's like kind of like that popular like orange and teal look, because you have the teal of the buildings and kind of the orange yellow of the luminescent sign. Just looks cool. This was a really fun trip. So this is in Chicago. In late September, me and my friends found super cheap Amtrak tickets. We took the Amtrak to Chicago. We left Friday afternoon, got in Saturday morning, spent the whole day in Chicago, and then left Saturday night and got in like Sunday at like noon. And so we basically just day tripped to Chicago, spent 2 nights sleeping on the train. Not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it was a really, really fun trip. So this is I think they call it the L. I took this from like where the Bean is at Millennium Park. Chicago is my second favorite city. I love Chicago so much. I really like this picture because it was, you know, around 4 p.m. so the sun was just starting to set. So you kind of have like the golden light in the background of the buildings, but it's kind of like that grungy look, you know, with the train like going past. Got the people walking around, the traffic lined up. You got a bus going to Milwaukee. I really do like this picture, and I got quite a few comments from my friends when I posted this picture, just like, wow, that's such a good picture. So yeah, this one was when I was in Florida. Got a lot of Florida pictures here. This is the Florida from November. This picture actually wasn't very impressive when I first took it. There wasn't really any color, but when I applied one of my presets to it, it like brought out a ton of pinks, but it just kind of turned into this like super cool, like really saturated picture. So it ended up being really, really good and made it into my top 15. So this picture, if I had to choose a favorite from every picture I've taken in 2021, this one might be it. I love this picture so much. I really love astrophotography, so any chance I get, I try to take pictures of the stars. Out here, I live right outside DC, and so there's just a ton of light pollution, so I can't do anything. My grandparents live in like rural Iowa, so there's not a lot of light pollution, so I can get some really good pictures of these stars. And so that the bright light at the bottom is actually the moon, not the sun. Like this is completely, like I didn't like Photoshop anything. Like all these stars are real, but I do kind of like it because it like looks like it's the sun like rising, and you still have the ton of stars in the back, and you have like the lines from the planes. But I do really, really love this picture. I just love the colors of it. If I had to choose, this would probably be my #1 picture of 2021. So this was another picture from Florida when I went in November. This was, I want to say, maybe 30 seconds before I took that shot with the palm tree. But I really did the exact same thing. I applied the exact same preset to this picture as I did for the palm tree. And it just brought out all the colors of the sunset, all the pinks, the blues, the oranges, the reds. It's just super pretty, and I kind of love the like symmetrical nature of it. Another Florida picture, tons of Florida pictures. This one was with a drone, and this one I like. It's like very simple. I love those like top down shots, but it gets like the foam of the waves, it gets the golden sand, the, you know, super clear blue turquoise destined water. So I just added a little saturation. I love the foam that it has in the middle. So this was actually my phone wallpaper for a really long time because it's just very satisfying. It just looks great. So this one, me and my family went out and took just like some Christmas card pictures, and one of the locations we did was right across from the Jefferson Memorial. And so after we were done, I got my 55 to 210, waited for a plane to come in because planes go to Reagan National Airport all the time. They fly right over every like minute. I just put on burst mode and I try to get a plane kind of flying in. This one, I did a ton of editing. It looks like it's like sunrise and beautiful, all the pinks. This picture was taken at like 11 or noon. It was just kind of middle of the day, but I edited it to bring out all the pinks and add really a ton of pinks into the highlights to make it look like it was like sunrise with a plane flying over. I love this picture. So this is the very last one, another Florida picture. This one I want to say was our last night there. And me and my brother and my cousins kind of stayed out after the sun was setting, and we took a ton of pictures. And I like to do this thing where I use the flash on this camera and then edit it to kind of make it look like a film camera. And so this is one of the pictures I took of my brother, just kind of, I think he was just messing around, but it ended up being a really, really good silhouette. And I actually used this as the thumbnail for my Dear Childhood video. If you haven't watched that, tearjerker. Probably my favorite video that I've made since I've been on YouTube. So I don't remember which side it is, but go up and watch that if you haven't. It's great. But I use that as a thumbnail. I did Photoshop in the stars because I just thought it looked super cool. Those are my top 15 shots of 2021. Please let me know which one's your favorite. If you do want to see some more shots I've taken, some behind the scenes, go over and follow my Instagram, 16_views. I'd really appreciate that. If you're new here, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. I'm really trying to build this channel. But yeah, 2021 was great for photography, and I'm hoping 2022 is even better. This is John from 16 Views. See ya.